And here we go.
It did not pop out a chat for us, but we can find one.
That's fine. Yeah, we know. Wireless mouse. Ugh. Okay. That should be good, right? Because then we can
Sure.
see viewer count. Alright. That's still our old one. You might want to refresh. Hey, there we go. Wait.
It says we're offline.
Let's stop.
No, hold on. There we go.
Right.
We made it.
We had the VOD up from last week, and we were like, oh no, it's still showing the old video.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't want to show us anything except for the old VOD.
But now we should be good. So.
Hey, how's it going, LeFleur? I hope we've got audio for you guys.
Right there's Goomba, so we can hop right in there.
And we're going in.
I'm still grinding the spring man.
Yeah, I've still got some Lola I gotta work my way through as well. It's all good.
Alright, I snuck in a little bit of Lola yesterday. It was a Lola lobby. Do you want to just like warm up fight while we wait for the ping?
Yeah, let's just pop in there. We've got a couple of minutes to go. Time for people to get in here. I hope you can hear us in the stream chat. If you can't, or if there's no game audio, please let us know. Ah, you've never heard us as nicely. Good to know. That means we're working.
Alright, that sounds like we have voices. We're doing good, Goomba. Hold on, I'm getting my controllers back on. Punching me.
Yes, I am.
Good
Just
thing.
because you don't have a control in your hand doesn't mean I can't
It's
punch
fine.
you.
I don't have a health bar. It's not.
See, this is a real mode that should be included. Is 1v1 with cells everywhere. Fight through them. Every target you hit gives bonus damage. There you go. We've got a whole new game mode.
It's just cover. Unless you've got a charge punch. Because charge punches will go through multiple targets.
Yes, they will.
Which is really interesting in 2v2.
Useful in 2v2s and in free-for-alls. And in warm-up when you're fighting someone on a local connection.
Try it right in my face.
I see Becca in the chat over there. Yeah, there's no health bar in the training, so it's mostly
Yeah, this is just a little warm-up mode.
it's just
If we
us
sit
screwing
here
around,
long
warming up
enough,
a bit.
There will be gold targets that give us coins.
Yeah, if we were breaking targets or something, we might see some of those. Oh, there you go.
So I learned how to hit Lola better by trying not to hit Lola.
Yeah, I see Becca in the chat on Discord. Seems to be aware that we are about ready to roll. Looks like we'll be starting shortly. Tom is already in the lobby with us.
We just have to wait for the ping and Goomba can pick this up for us today.
if anyone is out there watching the stream and wants to get involved, we are a public event, so anyone is welcome to join us. Just head to www.casualarms.net. Yes, the www is required.
No worries, Goomba, you can stick to just one, so. Don't gotta worry about paying attention to Discord and the stream.
No, not at all. That's what we'll do.
By no means a requirement of everything.
And there's the time. There we go. We're rolling. Everything's happening now. All right, looks like we've got 4 people in here watching so far. I'm sure most of you are from the Discord, but if you're not, just throw us a shout out in the chat and let us know. We'll get you plugged in with everything we're doing here. I'm not sure if that was me. That might have actually been Tom.
Okay, I'll take it.
Either way. Oof. Perfectly set on the incorrect targets there.
Yeah, I felt that.
Ooh, that's gonna sting. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Ah, well, that'll be the end of this run. Ah, well, it is what it is. We should probably pause the stream playback here so that we don't get terrible delays on that. There it is. Alright, let's see if anyone popped in while we were in the ring. No! Nobody else popped in here so far.
Viewers. Hello, viewers.
Hey, good to see you all in here. Now I have to manage to navigate this thing and actually find out how to get the event chat back up. There we go, we got it.
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna drink some tea and watch you guys beat the crap out of Kid Cobra wearing a giant hat.
I'm glad there's no delays on your end, LaFleur. Thanks for the heads up there. Still gonna take precautions just to make sure it doesn't get worse. And the 3 of us on a level 5 headlock is going to be short work. Yeah, that'll be pretty straightforward.
The Casual Arms crew in general is pretty quick when it comes to headlocks. We all know our way around one. And thanks to everybody out there who's tuning in, hanging out with us today. If you want to play Arms, just let us know and we'll be able to get you in here. Otherwise, hope you enjoy watching us beat the crap out of this headlock.
Yes, all events that we run through Casual Arms, be they on the stream or not, are public and open to everyone to jump in here. Looks like we've got some people in the Discord who are running a little behind on the start, but will be here later. This is a 2-hour-long event, so there is plenty of time for anyone to get involved. Oh hey, looks like we have JP in here. I haven't seen JP in here in ages. Oh, that's so cool.
Let's see if the
And this
trusty
looks like
Whammer
it's just
can
lit.
help me out here. You too, Goomba. Got a really slippery grip on my Joy-Cons right now.
That's gonna make it a little trickier to play with.
Quite. I'm having a really hard time, actually. I can block that, though. It's fine.
That was interesting. There we go. Let's come in for the comeback now.
That was a poorly timed rush. I was expecting another glove in my face.
A well-timed grab from Goomba.
Yes, because I don't see that happening when you get a rush, and I don't.
LeFleur dropping the improv out here.
Hey, now we got some more people. We got Nixa and we got Cocovet in here.
Oh, hey, yeah. Good to see you jumping in here. I don't know if any of you are who are playing are also listening to the stream, but welcome to the party. Good to see you all here. We've got some old faces that we've seen pretty much the whole time Casual Arms has been around, and then we've got some new ones coming in too. That's nice.
Nixa streams too. I don't think he is right now, but he's on Twitch. If you ever want to check him out. I don't remember what his full Twitch handle is, unfortunately. I think it's just Nixatron, but...
There's a pretty good population in the ARMS community that streams in some capacity or another. We don't get them up all the time, but...
Well, not everybody's regular. Some people do when they can. So.
Exactly, yeah. Now you get to see the exciting gameplay of 2 matches at once. The beautiful part that I personally love about the ARMS lobbies is you can see the ongoing fights and track a little bit of their progress. You can see the timer moving around the circle. You can see the HP bars and the damage taken for each character along the way.
You can see when people get their special moves, they flare up with the yellow for the rush.
Yep.
So you could theoretically commentate what you think is happening in a match just based on what's happening in the lobby, which is really fun.
It's a nice touch. It's something that they didn't have to put into the system, but they did. And I appreciate it, especially during those moments when you're just finished up a match and it doesn't want to matchmake you with the same person you just fought. It decides, hey, gives you something to watch.
Yeah, and then there's the warm-up mode, too.
Yes, faces of joy and distress.
Here we are for another 2v2, but this time on Via Dolce. Which can be a really tight stage for 4 combatants.
Oh, definitely. It is not a friendly little place. It is very tight and very violent in Via Dolce.
As we affectionately like to call it, the clown zone, because it's Lola Pop stage.
That'll land.
One of the cool things about this stage is that you can fire a shot over those side areas. So even though you can't walk in those corners, you can still punch over them.
It's a very nice touch. It makes for a very simple stage to have a little bit more going on in it.
Save me!
Got you covered.
Thank you. Ouch, that's a mistake.
Oh, that's a grab.
Well, we not.
Ah, that's a grab too.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know to respond.
It is what it is. It's all good.
Ah, crap. Well, good luck.
I am poorly equipped for this fight, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, those big heavy hammers are just so great with those parasols.
Oh yeah, I usually don't run double parasol, but I figured, hey, I'll give it a shot. Not going to be able to push through hammers with them, but they're nice to use.
Oh, we've got a good batch out here.
Definitely.
So our lobby max is 10, so we have a bit of crowd, and we have Goomba so kindly helping us out with backup hosting today.
And while the lobby might max out at 10, we are ready and equipped to split to hold up to more people. We can get up to 30 people in a single event right now without, well, any trouble whatsoever.
I'd have to leave. I'd have to get the other switch.
But we can make it happen.
GM Tama here with a very classic set of his. Double gloves on the minion.
Holy hell, that chiller though.
It is definitely pretty quick when you get it on and all charged up.
Yeah, well, there's not much point in me really playing in this match, but I'm going to do my best regardless.
Yeah, one of the difficult things about this stage is you can't quite get out of range of attacks like you can on some other stages.
By far my least favorite stage, but it is what it is, and it is on the rotation today.
Well, what is today's theme? Corner? Or is it just
Corner
Corner Chaos?
Chaos
Yeah,
is
so
today,
we've got all
yes.
the stages and game modes that encourage you to get stuck in or force your opponent into a corner. Hey, we
Hey,
got
looks
Paul
like
here
Paul
today.
made it. Good to see you, Paul. And ItemBot is now following. I suspect Program managed to wake up and get an account for ItemBot. For those of you who don't know, ItemBot is the bot on our Discord server. Name redacted, worst stage? Yeah, hardly.
Nah, I disagree. Nim Redacted has a bunch of cool stuff going on. You've got conveyor belts, you've got moving targets. It's a lot of fun.
Not everybody likes it, but that's the beautiful thing about having a set of 15 stages, that you all get to play on all of them. Everyone gets to play the
ItemBot
stages
says
they
that
like.
Master's asleep, so I guess Program is playing in character today as well.
Oh, clearly. It does have a good soundtrack. You gotta give it credit for that. I'm personally fond of the variations that you can get in the play off the pillars and the treadmills. It locks that stage into two little sections that I think bring a lot of interesting dynamic to the fight. But then again, I am what I believe LaFleur has coined a unicorn in the ARMS community. In that I tend to enjoy the styles of gameplay that most others don't.
I can keep them all alive here. I think we have several continents here that we're getting this match between, so there are some things happening.
There sure are.
Oh, we've got Paul in the UK, we've got GM Tom in Chile, us in the United States. It's a little tricky. ItemBot says that Master hasn't wired up my bot brains yet, so I can still go rogue while he's shut down for the night.
Well, we'll have to report this bug to Program when he wakes up in the morning.
Just be like, by the way, ItemBot went rogue and made a Microsoft account. I don't know if you're okay with that. Yeah, we all know that AI is a scary thing and that the robot apocalypse is approaching that day, so...
All the more reasons to sit back with some friends and enjoy some games.
Oh, dang, I double grabbed the screenshot.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time we've done that.
Yeah, well, they're easy to spot, so... But we'll keep this moving. for the next one. And we'll keep this going till 8.
Plenty of time, plenty of time. For those of you who may be in our Discord chat, who are listening to the stream, feel free to type in whichever chat you prefer. We will be able to respond to you on stream, because we can see both of them.
It's true.
Not to worry too much on the screenshots, Goomba. As long as we are in the lobby, we also have access to those.
Thank you for the well wishes item bot. Sorry for hitting you in the back there. Gosh, I was looking at the stream chat and hit you in the back of the head with a whammer.
Hey, if we were focusing solely on trying to play well today, we would not be running a stream.
That's true. Or we'd be playing like our 5th tier characters.
Yeah. Very, very true.
Yeah, because I can't land any hooks in my life right now. Oh, we got one down.
Oh, that's room to maneuver. Nixo with some good evasion out there. It is more difficult than it looks to dodge 2 players at one time. Lola's mobility gives some good options for it.
And I believe Nyx is a Lola main, so that's his home turf right there.
It's not too surprising. Most people like to slide in and play the characters they're good with.
Meanwhile, we're experimenting with weird stuff. Though I've been liking Springman lately. He's nice average on everything. He's a good all-rounder. He's that classic arms face. I have these color-coordinated arms that match. He's sponsored by Colgate. Focus a double dragon.
Really?
But,
That's exciting to see. It's always nice to see people changing it up and trying something new.
I'm having a difficult time with some of this here.
Oh, I did get grabbed. Thought I got away with that, but I didn't.
Coco did instead.
That's curious interaction.
Sorry, I'm playing off right now. Probably switch to something I can play a little more brain dead.
There we go, got the snipe on that end. Now to bring it home on Kokovet. Ah!
Going for the flank! I'll grab you back. I'll take trades. So Lola is one of the few characters that can move while blocking, which also means that she can inflate and just intimidatingly roll up to opponents. Hey, Nextron, welcome to the stream chat. Glad you managed to find your way in. And I assure you, you definitely got into stream chat faster than some other people. There's been a lot of trouble with setting up Mixer accounts.
It's true. We had some people who took a good, well, week, maybe 2 weeks to get a login here.
Yeah, some of them are mod staff, but they got in.
You made it in
They're
within
supportive.
20 minutes. Well, LaFleur, you could always log in and give us a firm beating to pay for it. You are welcome to.
But right now, we're going to work with Paul over here and beat a headlock in the corner of Candy Street.
Oh, that's kind of what Candy Street is known for. Selling candy and beating people up in alleyways.
Yeah, well. Ninja with a fancy hat. What else? Easier when Headlock's got this pile of light arms, so basically all of our attacks can just push right through. It is hammer time, folks.
That is hammers. Oh my goodness. Stop. Oh. Sorry, Paul. I have still not gotten good at that reflex of maneuvering behind a target mid-meatball to save them.
Behind? What was happening on your screen? I wasn't looking.
Oh, Paul was getting wrecked by a very spicy ball of meat.
Ah, you mean he was protecting you from imminent death?
I mean he was starving, but his eyes were a bit bigger than his stomach. Hey, do whatever you like, Nix. Play what's fun and what makes you comfortable.
And now we've got a clown off here.
Just forgive Lit and I for playing characters that aren't really at the top of our game right now. Might not be the best to practice for you, but we're giving you what we can. Oh, got that too.
Two Lolas with explosive heroes. Interesting. Yeah, Nixitron says he really needs to practice for SNS, which is a big major coming up. It takes place in Wisconsin Delhi, which is known for being a Smash, Splatoon, and also an Arms tournament, among with other fighting games.
Ah, that'll do it.
Truly see the difference between a Lola main and somebody who is less familiar with the character here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I haven't played Lola Pop before this week.
Yeah. And she's got a lot of weird movement options. A lot of Lola's things that she can do that are unique come from her block stance, so she will inflate while blocking and can do a fast dash or a fast jump out of that. Looks like we're at 9 and just got to 10.
Just
so
got
we'll
to 10,
see.
so we'll dip into a second lobby right after this match. And Goomba will stay here to keep everyone hosted in the first lobby and get screenshots taken care of. Given the characters we're playing today and our general play quality, pretty safe to say that the second lobby will be the lower skill lobby today.
Yeah, if anybody wants a chill time to just hang out on stream and play us with off characters.
So if you are in the event right now and feel like you're having a rough time of it, feel free to follow us when we split off after this match and create the second lobby.
Across the world there.
Oh, it's about to be. All right, we found the magic pixel, ladies and gentlemen. I will just hang out here at the magic pixel for a while.
We'll take care of him for you. like all the settings saved, so we are good to keep on with our theme. And I have informed the Discord that we have opened up Lobby 2, so hopefully we get a few people soon. In the meantime, we can just hang out here for a little bit, get a breather. Sounds like Cocovet's going to be heading over our way shortly. Good thing about having a backup host means that we can get more people in on the action.
Absolutely. And for anyone who might be tuning in right now, we are just splitting off to a second lobby. So if it looks a little inactive at the moment, that's because we're in a transitory period and we will have people here momentarily. We have a full lobby of 10 people in the other room, all having good fights.
And once we get spread across 2 lobbies, we'll have plenty of room in either of them.
Absolutely. That's the idea.
I'm just gonna enjoy some tea. Some caffeine-free vanilla rooibos tea.
That is not an advertisement because it's not branded.
I mean, I could have listed the brand, but I didn't intentionally, so that way I didn't have to say not sponsored. Looks like we are up to 19 followers on Mixer. Thank you to all of you out there.
After only a couple of streams, too. Hey, that bumps us to 20.
Congratulations, Nixatron. You are our 20th follower. You win the ability to play ARMS with us even more than you already were before.
It's true. You can always play ARMS with us more. We'll keep hosting more events, and even when they're not on stream, we're out there in them.
We've got, what, like 3.5 ARMS events per week? I say half since the one is bi-weekly. Well, because we've got... Oh, no, it's more than that, because we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yes, we do.
And then sometimes Saturday.
We have 4 ARMS events every week. We have 2 monthly ones on Saturdays, which are larger tournaments. So there is plenty of ARMS play every week. And if you want to catch that schedule, it is visible on our website at www.casualarms.net.
And you can see all of our events in your local time, since we do have an international audience. So we got people all across the continental US. We have a little bit of South America. We have plenty of friends in Europe, both in the UK and a little further east.
There we go. Good job, Coco.
Coco with her extra dangerous Tri-Blast today. An arm feared by many, even some of the most competitive players. So much so that it became a bit of a meme. But hopefully, Rashiko will be able to plow through with that parasol. Until we're I'm just so afraid of distracting him while I talk, so...
Oh, that's fair. I don't care, though.
Yeah. It's just different. Normally we're very quiet to play video games, but since we're on stream, we're supposed to be entertaining you while I'm talking and being engaged and stuff. Very narrow with that.
Oh, that's fine. It is what it is.
And those exploding Tri-Blasts can they are dangerous. They're so zippy, and then they explode in your face.
And for anyone wondering, yes, it is very difficult to actually try and stream while playing.
Yeah, this is a thing that we're learning. The distraction is real. Here we are in 2v2 on Name Redacted, which is Dr. Coyle's secret laboratory. And also a very fun place to punch people with extendable spring arms.
Probably one of my favorite stages in this game, to be honest.
It is definitely a neat stage. You were saying from when the game first came out that you wanted a stage with conveyor belts on it.
Yes, I was. That was what I wanted from day one.
And here they are, covered in tubes. Oh. Ah! I tried to throw the grab. Anyway. The secret of 2v2, I think, is knowing when to change targets.
Ooh, thought I was out of range of that one. Not the case. It's always a surprising moment when you see a rush launch and you go, ah, good, I'm just out of range of that. I'll stand here boldly, ignoring it. And then it hits you.
Yeah, Nexatron says, yeah, chatting while streaming is weird. I'm sure he can attest from his time of streaming recently as well. Nexatron, what is your actual Twitch handle? Is it just twitch.tv/Nexatron? I couldn't remember what it was offhand. I just happened to see you streaming the other day. And Kokovet cries tears of pain.
Oh, looks like GM Tom followed us. Welcome to lobby number 2, Tom.
Her mouse is wigging out.
Although once you get a headlock backed into a corner, you can pretty much throw him wherever you want. Especially when someone's using...
so I have to pay a bit more attention.
But especially when someone's using an ice element out there, it just means that the headlock doesn't move. You can spend the rest of the match
can't
just
move
spelling.
for us. Really helpful for getting the more evasive AI.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just on the script headlock. Back him into a corner, hit him with explosives and freeze. They go down in a matter of seconds. Oh, looks like we have ITX Ribbon and the Nub. Yeah, I don't think we've actually met either of these players. They have never jumped in on our Discord chats. They've never jumped in on our stream chats. But they have jumped in on the events for quite some time now.
Alright, well, let's see if I can,
Now, I would say something about Nub, but I don't know much about the person, except for the fact that this is a pretty even match overall. A little bit of an edge to Lit, though.
maintain my advantage in this health here. I have
Well,
to be
good
catching
call.
him.
You maintained pretty freaking hard there. Oh, but the glove rush does not land.
Ah, but the fun chuck one does.
That was a very good parry on Nubsmart. Well, fortunately, Nixitron, Nub's connection seems to be pretty steady right now. I don't know what it looks like on their end.
Yeah,
For all
we'll
we
see.
know, they were experiencing some terrible hyperspeed arms from us, but...
But to me, my trusty toasters were going through those light tri-blasts, or tri-bolts.
Tri-bolts, that'd be the green one.
Yeah, the green ones are tri-bolts.
The blasts explode. They have a blast.
But like we said before, these events are open to anybody, whether or not they are in our Discord server or not. So
Very true. And those two players are a prime example of that.
Wait.
ITX and Nub have never stopped in.
Yeah, we
Except
post
to play.
all of our event stuff on our website, like we mentioned before, www.casualarms.net, or on our Twitter @casualarms.
Hey, you'll get the flow down in time.
It's hard to say that many W's.
It is. It's a lot of W.
Grabbed. Wow, you're safe, baby.
Oops, that was a mistake. But I didn't have to pay for it. That's nice.
Man, I do see why people use toasters, because when they land, it does feel good.
Ah,
Hey, I got him!
I
And
won't be able to do
Coco got
anything
me.
about that one, yeah.
I was proud of myself for it.
That's fine, that's a trade worth making.
Oh,
I will
did
gladly
he
trade
go
some
down?
hit points. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Gladly trade some hit points for a KO and a 2v2.
Really learning how to curve these gloves. They have more curve than you'd think.
Poor Coco, but as a testament to Coco's ability to play, you have been the last one standing in, I think, every 2v2 that we have won.
Hey, we fight you because we care and we value your presence in our events. Cocovet is definitely a regular on the Casual Arms server, both in chat and in our events.
Oh, don't let your Felios be Herdios too much, Coco.
We don't want to hurt your Felios.
We would never want to hurt your Felios. We just wish to give you Cheerios.
I was also thinking Cheerios with that. I was like...
Yeah, you were too slow.
I couldn't come up with a quick enough joke, but...
Ah, ITX Ribbon. Well, I can play a decent match against ITX with my main characters. We'll see what I can do with Alola. Not the timing to get through that.
Hey, thank you for the follow. Rating card 22424. I suspect that you'll get a more organic sounding name shortly, but thank you for the follow. We appreciate you being here.
Ooh, boy, does Lola have some unusual movement. Yeah, well, that was a stupid punch on my part. What is going on here? Sounds like our second host just got a food delivery. So if you catch them in a match, but they are not playing at the moment, don't worry, they'll be back soon.
I do love the lobby interaction in ARMS, where you can do all these little bounces. I also love that it is intentionally ambiguous.
Everything is ambiguous except for the forward bounce that looks a little bold and
some
taunting.
people use it in like a I'm excited way at times.
I suppose that's fair.
And in the party crash, it has the funniest sound, so...
Did not get the punish in time for that one. Unfortunate.
Oh, I'm impressed you got the Ribbon Girl, though.
Yeah, Ribbon Girl is not an easy one to get a grab punish on in a 2v2.
Oh no, the rush. Alright, well, 2 2-on-1. You should be able to handle this, right? It's just one really
We
girl.
shall see.
Not bad can be.
Always willing to trade some health for some damage in a 2v2. Especially in a 2v1. ITX being a good sport and fighting through this one, though. They know they have what it takes to possibly make it come.
Oh, yeah, and Ripping Girl can play very evasively with all those extra jumps that she gets. Hammer will get her anywhere. Hey, Maine, welcome to the chat, and welcome for bringing million men into our lobby. I can pronounce words really well.
That would be Main, a member of our casual crew, which is our competitive team for casual arms. Main, as you may have guessed, Main's Min.
I thought it was the funniest thing when he first joined our lobbies. I was like, ha, his name is Main, that's great, and he plays Min. And I had a jolly laugh over it.
Absolutely. We have had some people come through here with some very exciting names. There's one person in particular that, boy, do we wish had ever talked in the chat or joined an event. But we had someone join the server by the name of Mantis Toboggan.
And I was like, that's an excellent name. I want to talk to you.
That's the kind of person that I want to get to know. The person who would name themselves Mantis Toboggan.
That is the name of these shows. There was another one. They actually did show up to the event. Potato Hats.
Yes, Potato Hats. I remember Potato Hats. That was
that's
another fun name. But we have, while we've only been streaming for about 3 weeks now, we have been running this community and bringing group public events for ARMS for, what, going on a year and a half now?
Yep, that's true. The server was created at the end of December 2017. And we've been running it since.
We also run public events for Splatoon and Smash Brothers. And not only are our events open to all, but we also have integrated leaderboards, points you can collect during the events, and badges that you can earn on our website, along with the corresponding roles in the Discord server.
It's just a fun way to encourage participation. So you'll get more coins the better you do, and of course you'll get more coins the more you play. So we value both being able to perform well as far as skill goes, and also show up a bunch. Since that's what community's all about.
Ah, good. I'm glad you made it today, Ash.
Hey, there's Ash.
And rolling straight into the next lobby, we've still got plenty more fun to come.
I know there are more stages out here, but man, if we had a lot of 2v2s on Via Dolce. I mean, like, there are only 7 stages, but I feel like a good half of our 2v2s today have been on this. This is just me and Maine, by the way, so you don't have to worry.
Thanks for the heads up. Lit always being helpful when she sees me face down on a keyboard.
Tom has gone back to that crazy Scully. It's so fast. So zippy.
Well, that's its job. Oh my!
Ninjara teleports, but that is definitely something you need.
And that'll bring it down to the 2v1.
I'll just try to back up my T-bird wielding friend here. Oh boy.
We'll just let that happen.
That was weird to just observe.
It's not very often you get to sit back and watch a rush exchange between two people.
Ooh, with the bomb finish. Ouch. Main says he joined Casual Arms shortly after he set Main as his Switch name, so... What a good time in your life to start with Casual Arms that way. Yeah, I didn't see what our count was to advise Goomba as to whether or not we can merge, but I think we were over 6.
We
So-
are, I believe, at 6 or 7 of the two. I'm sure someone in the chat could tell us if they are sitting back watching and have the count.
I'd
But
have to
either
be.
way, it's about the number where we still have to stay in 2 lobbies for now.
That's fine, bit more variety in that way for the play. And
All
this
of our
Hemlock-
events tend to switch between 1 and 2 lobbies a couple of times on the way through.
Yeah, we get a pretty stable population. Wednesdays especially kind of tend to catch the most of both
That's a
worlds.
whiff rush.
Since obviously it's great for us in Eastern time, but we can usually catch the tail end here.
And the early birds from the West Coast.
Yeah, Wildcard Wednesday is one of our longest running events, I believe. Because we started off initially with just a Saturday party lobby that we used to run, and then we added in Wildcard Wednesday. The Saturday lobby doesn't happen anymore since we have tournaments on that day, but Wildcard Wednesday has kept going. Okay, yeah, we're at 7. See, more 2v2s on Via Dolce.
Hey, that's just
game-
where we are today.
The game has decided that I need practice on the Clown Zone. Because
Wasn't that marked as your best stage, although it was like
in,
a little
in
bit of a
version
taunt
4,
towards
but
you.
version 4 was an anomaly. So ARMS has like stat pages for each of the different versions of the game as it updated. Version 4 was very short, and we really only played it for an in-game event called Party Crash. Which I believe
that
the
was a
one
little
then
too late.
was Mid Jara, which is probably going to be repeated soon.
In all likelihood, yeah. Oh darn, that grab finally
I
did
couldn't
land.
quite get it. I tried. I launched it.
Oh,
I tried to
boo.
get it, but he blocked his teammate's rush, so it's bad.
We'll just lay that in there, and that will set us up for the 2v1, which should close out this match nicely, but you never know what a nub can manage.
It's true. Hey, there we go. Buster Beach. That's a different stage. And this is both of us. In this here 2v2. Ooh, is that Coco Vet rocking birds I see?
That is Coco Vet rocking, well, at least one
Well,
bird.
and
It looked like 2 birds.
Coco Vet with a bird is dangerous. I have had a lot of trouble dealing with Coco Vet's birds.
Oh, that would be a ninja.
Well, I
Grabbing me
tried.
from
I couldn't
across
turn
the
quite
stage.
quick enough. But I got him.
Yeah, something knocked me down too.
I mean, it was the bomb.
Oh, just a little one. Oh, that was a mistaken jump.
I'll just hang out here. It's fine. Right between. Ah, dang it. I had both of them on me.
Ah, that is not where I intended that to be targeted.
You got this.
No, I don't.
Reasons that was said with a question mark at the end. Well, there you go. Now Cocovet gets to win at the end there.
Good job, Coco. See, that's the trick, is to get one of us down early.
Main on sparring ring.
Oh, that'll be a disaster. But hey, it will be fun. For at least one of us. Probably 1.5.
Main is rocking his main. Min load
No,
out
no, it's always a good time to fight against Main. I may lose against Main, but that's because Main knows his way through everything that I have, even with my better characters. And because birds are one of those few things that I have just never figured out how to do a darn thing about.
They
That's
are
not what I
difficult. The only thing I've ever
Okay.
found that can knock them down is occasionally hammers if they're on the right side.
That was interesting. Would have thought the parasol would get there in time, but not so much.
Main is also known for grabbing a lot. Really exploiting the power of those grabs.
Oh, that's fine. I don't win matches on sparring ring.
No, it is your least favorite stage. Rashiko is very much an environmental player, so on this blank slate of a stage, he doesn't really have much to work with.
No, that's not true at all, Main. I enjoy fighting against your Min. I just usually prefer to do it with something a little more palatable on my end. And it looks like we've got Garrett from our Discord chat, who is the character in here. Mr. Circuit, also known as Garrett. And it looks like we're going to settle down to calmly put this headlock in his place.
Headlock's always a nice change of pace. Good co-op for Seiyai.
I do wish we could fight against those level 8 golden headlocks, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping once Party Crash is finished up, we'll get them in regular Party Crash. But just like mode in general. It'd be really cool. Because those ones are tricky ones. They've got more hit points, got more punch to them, and they can do that really nasty rush combo where they grab you and then just throw you into the air with a ball.
800 points, I think it was.
It is brutal, whatever it is.
To put that into context for those who don't know, your full health bar is 1,000 hit points, and the level 8 headlock is capable of doing an 800 damage combo.
Yeah, so
All
most
from
of your
landing
arms
a
do
grab.
approximately 100 points of damage, and then rushes will do anywhere from 200 to 400. So it can be a substantial chunk of the health bar. I'm just waiting to get that Springman badge.
Same thing with me here on the Lola badge. I will probably still shuffle around to some other characters, but it will be nice to sink back into the ones that I actually am comfortable with. I'll probably be rusty as all heck with them for a while, but hey, that's where you gotta start, right?
Hey, I played a little bit of Cobra after playing a lot of Spring, and it still felt good. It was weird, because Cobra moves in a very different way than any other character on the roster, but...
Oh, that was not who I expected Ash to be aiming at.
Save me!
Nope.
Hey,
Oh,
save
hey!
me! I wasn't sure it would work. I
Neither was
requested it
I.
anyway.
Your Min game is looking really good today, man. I may have been joking that I was a little off the ball on that, but having played against you with your Min at better times and worse times, you are definitely on your game today. No real question there.
And Main has taken the lobby single-handedly.
Absolutely.
Not a single lost game there. Hey, Forward Giant 372, thank you for the follow. That sounds like another Mixer default name. But we appreciate you being here. Oh, hey, Ash. Thanks for the follow. I'm glad you could join us in the lobby today.
Yeah, it's good to see you in here. Both in the game and on the stream.
Yeah, as far as how to change your name, it's somewhere in the settings on Mixer. I should really learn how to direct people to it more intentionally. Double texture.
We are not actually in any of the voice channels right now.
If you are interested though, I believe somebody's using our voice chats on the Discord. If you scroll down beneath some of the other chat channels, you should be able to spot the voice channels, which are open for everybody. As far as stream goes, we're trying to keep it just us since we're still getting the hang of this.
But at the moment, it looks like Garrett is in our voice chat for the event. So if you are interested in talking with other people who are there, just Garrett at the moment, just scroll on down and click the voice number 1 button down there next to them. And if you have a microphone set up, Discord should automatically connect your microphone so that you can start talking. In the distant future, when Lit and I become a little bit more acclimated to this whole streaming shindig here, we may start putting in the ability for people to interact with us on voice.
Man, it cracks me up. Maine is just bouncing all over the place. He will miss every punch except for the T-bird that he throws at me.
Well, that's just the way Maine is.
I know it means that you care, Maine.
Yeah, and it did not take long. I'm catching back up on the chat and looking up further than I started there. It did not take long for me to appreciate your T-bird, Maine. At first, I found it rather irritating, but I got past that pretty quickly, and if I recall, we spent a good, the better portion of a day with me sitting there trying to figure out what sort of angles shield arms could or couldn't use against the birds.
I feel like I picked up the whammer just as an arm that I like, specifically to punch down T-birds. Well, because it can come out on this curve angle, and it can catch them mid-flight if it's thrown at the right time.
Ooh. Look away for the chat, towards the chat for 2 seconds, and it's time for dinner. Thank you, Headlock, but I already ate.
Ooh, we've got a team of Min-Mins. Wasp Min-Mins, specifically. They got that black and yellow skin.
Honestly, probably one of my favorite skins for Min Min. It's got a good flow to it.
It does. Though, I like the red and white one, too.
Those would be my 2 favorite skins.
Dragon. Look at them just charging them together. It's adorable.
Alright. Ah, darn, that one alone.
Rush knocks down those pillars in the middle of the stage.
One of only 2 things that do. The only things that will knock down those pillars are a rush, or not the throne grab itself, but the person if you throw them with it. Not a problem.
Oh, you saved me, thank you.
Oh boy, this is a close one. They pinned us down in that corner really hard, and it's just you now.
This. Not gonna get it now. Min-Min's air dash is too wide.
Well played, you two. Very well done.
Whenever I rush, I feel like I'm flailing my headphones everywhere because I have a cord here.
I'm telling you, you gotta pick up some wireless headphones.
That would probably help my situation. So I always feel like, because we use the motion, so I'm moving my hands everywhere. I have this cord hanging out.
We have received a friend request. In a few moments when this match ends, we will go accept that as soon as we can. And whoever sent it will be able to join us. If that was not you, and you would like it to be you can find the friend codes for our hosts, which are the two of us here on stream that you can hear, and Goomba, our second host, on our website at www.casualarms.net. You'll be able to see the active event banner on the main page, and that should have all the information you need.
Alright, well, back aside here for a sec so we can go grab that. Oh, hey, that's Carrie. I asked her to send us a friend request earlier. She won't be joining us today, I don't think, but maybe I can convince her for Splatoon, because she has been doing the single-player Splatoon. Oh, I should probably pick my character, shouldn't I?
Ring-a-ling!
But we are back, and waiting for these matches to end, so we can get back in on those fights. Looks like GM Tom and Mr. Circuit are wrapping up now.
So we will probably get matched up with them pretty quickly here.
And Nub and Ash are just wrapping up, and Main and Coco is also done.
There it is! The lobby just cleared right back up for us.
Before I could even finish the sentence.
Min-Min is definitely a character that you have to kind of work around. If you let the Min-Min get the charge on the Dragon Arm, she will sit there with a fast-moving, oversized arm with the elemental charge always active. And most people who play Min-Min like to play around that dynamic. So the real key is either figuring out what their battle plan with that off-arm is, or stopping them from getting the charge entirely. Unfortunately, a lot of people who play Min-Min can just somewhat collapse if they don't manage to get their charge when you keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and it can be tricky, because while Min-Min is very fast, when she doesn't have her charge on, her arms are very tiny, so it can be a little tricky to hit. Much easier to evade a tiny little punch. Min-Min's also got that kick that can deflect an incoming arm. That also gives her a lot of lateral movement in the air, which can be really good for her. Rash is out here just beaming away. Double beams for days. Accidentally dragged my hands in there on his rush, but it's fine. This is more than under control between him and GM Tom.
Yes, I know you do not appreciate the dragons, Coco, if there is one arm that you don't tend to enjoy. Oh no, you don't need to get that far out of here. Oh no. Oh, goodbye, Coco.
We miss you already.
I see you had 7 points when you left, and I'll try to remember that for you.
Yeah, Ash says, I don't think I got a single hit on you, referring to you and your crazy dragon play. I can relate to that, having fought Rash a fair few times myself. He can be very evasive, and those dragons can apply a lot of pressure, with the beams taking the entire world, it feels like.
Now, the big trick to that some of the better players will tend to use to shut it down pretty quickly is to get right up in my face, because as soon as you close the gap, dragons have a very hard time pushing anyone back.
But getting up there is the tricky part. I'm trying to use this curve to work around everything here, but there's heavy headlock. This is evidenced by my lack of hit points all of a sudden. Jeez. Oh well, and
well, lack of
there's
a teammate
down.
too.
This may be a little tricky. We'll just have to play this carefully. Blocking when Headlock is looking at me. Punch through that, I tried. I don't think Ash is close enough to save me from that one.
Unfortunately, you can only block for so long.
Yeah. Until your shield is But if Headlock grabs your teammate, you can save them by grabbing Headlock.
That was a rough one to leave you alone with, Ash. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I wasn't in the match, but still.
You can apologize for me. I don't mind.
No, Ash, that is a great reflex, but it is not necessarily the most helpful thing to do during a headlock match.
Yeah, hiding in a corner.
You kind of need everybody out there dealing damage the whole way through.
Hiding in a corner can be useful in other matches, but when it comes to Headlock, you gotta really try to maneuver around him and get those punches in, or you won't get enough damage in time.
Also,
Main is being so
Goomba.
kind as to inform our friends how to change your name on Mixer. So, according to Main, you can change your Mixer name by clicking on your account icon at the top right of the screen, and then click on the account drop-down, and there's an option to change your username. Thank you, Main, for looking at that, and I will be sure to include that whenever people ask about it again. I haven't had to do it in a very long time.
And Goomba, our second host, I don't know if you are still listening to the stream, but if you are listening to the stream, we are at 5 members in our current lobby, and if memory serves, yours was a little lower than it started. If you have 4 members or less in the second lobby, feel free to just merge yours in with ours and get everyone in the same group.
Yeah, dragons, unfortunately, are not defended against well by double clapback. Great for double gloves by springing those gloves back, but the lasers just don't care. Here we are in another 2v2 on Via Dolce. Into the clown zone we go.
Well, if you miss the save, it's tough to follow up with the second one.
Well, I saved you. Took a lockjaw for it. Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's a turnaround there. That was looking like a pretty even match for a while.
But that should get him. Oh.
Oh no.
That will,
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's curious. We've ranked up in support of our own channel.
We've done it. At last.
We've been here in the chat long enough to rank up in our own chat.
We'll continue
How
to
exciting.
support casual arms. I can guarantee that we'll be doing that. Oh, we have road sign.
Oh, hey!
I
don't know if you're here in the chat, Road Sign, but that is a name that I haven't seen in a very long time. Welcome back. Oh man, that's a nostalgia trip right there.
Yeah, dang, that was like a year ago. Always good to see old names still playing arms. This is just me and Maine, so hopefully we can do it. I'm gonna stick with this Whammer. It's been serving me well. Also, it's a goofy big old squeaky hammer. It makes me happy. So I can't just keep Tom down here every time he charges up that Scully. He's a danger to us all.
Lit out here, making this
I
game
feel
look
like I'm doing
easy.
really well right now. Not gonna lie, I'm impressed with even myself. Ah, take that. I get the
I believe there was once a player in this scene who said, "One day I just started winning."
I just stopped losing.
Stopped losing. There you go.
It's just Springman energy. I mean, that's how you win. You just stop losing.
I suppose there is some truth to that. Like, if we're being fair.
I mean, if you don't lose, you're probably winning. There's a
That's
good
usually
chance,
how it works.
not always the case, but there's a good chance.
Main dispensing some very useful wisdom here, which is it is good to diversify the arms that you are using. Being able to use mediums and heavies in combinations with lights, maybe curving arms in combination with straight arms. There's a lot of different ways to make stuff work, and it's good to have a diverse kit. That's not a thing that I wanted to do. It's a thing that I did. No way around that anymore. And that's my strategy with rushes. Eat them early, that way you don't have to live in fear.
Tom telegraphed his rushes, and yet I still never remember.
Well, that is not where I wanted to be looking.
Oh yeah, the camera's just pretty odd, especially with the long dashes.
had what I needed to win that match, but boy, if I am not pulling it together right there. GM Tom, making it work well. Good game, friend. Ah, here you go. Some more practice with the headlock for you, Ash. You won't be able to hide in a corner on this stage, so you'll be kind of forced into taking the more proactive approach. General rules of thumb with a headlock is stay on the aggressive for as long as he's not looking at you. If he starts looking at you, don't be afraid to block.
Because if
Block,
he's
dodge, just kind of focus on the defensive if he's staring at you.
Yeah, if he's staring at you and punching with all of his arms, that means he's not punching at your teammates. That's a good time for them to be getting it.
Now, if you happen to be a character like Master Mummy who resists flinch and has very large arms, you can kind of use your own to push through what he has, but that's more of an exception.
Because if he has a lot of multi-shot arms, like this one has on his left, your hit points can just evaporate away. It's also generally better to punch rather than grabs. Punches will get more damage in over time. Grabs can definitely be useful if headlocks in a yucky spot where we don't want it, or if he's grabbing somebody. Through that. That was rude.
Alright, let's just reset that.
I was about to rush it.
Sorry about that, Ash. I did just kind of steal that away from you. And we'll just go for a grab to finish it off.
The cinematic finish.
The best grab on a headlock is the grab to KO.
Mummies are especially satisfying.
We have definitely had more than one match with a headlock, and in a good 10 seconds of people trying to grab the headlock, knocking him out of somebody else's grab, and then trying again to grab the headlock, just so that we could be featured in the KO. And it looks like Lit and Ash get a 1v1. So now you get to take some of that advice and put it into practice. Good luck, Ash.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go with... we'll do this curve arm. I'll work a bit of this later today.
It's an easy reflex to want to jump over a Seiki Rush. It never really pays off, though.
Sometimes I forget that you have to roll people toasted.
Lit and I both known for basically never using gloves. That'll always cut the momentum when your rush gets cancelled like that. Lit making good use of Springman's comeback mode in order to push that fight back into her favor. A very good effort from you, Ash. You rolled that one strong in the beginning, but she managed to find her feet and get under her. Came on back on you there.
Looks like we've got a nice populated lobby again now that we've merged.
So for those of you who might be wondering, as I see the population in our stream has gone back up a little bit again, this is a public event that is open to all. So if you are watching and think you know what? I might like to get in on that. All you have to do is head to our website at www.casualarms.net, and you will see the friend codes for our hosts for this event. Just send a friend request to any host of your choice, and we can get you plugged into the event, joining in through your friends.
And we also post updates on Twitter as to when our events are, so feel free to follow us on Casual Arms on Twitter. And Goomba says, I get to hear your beautiful voices. Thank you, Goomba. That's very sweet.
Well, I'm glad our voices aren't annoying and grating. That would be a terrible experience for all of you out there.
Hey, we
All
get
right.
Roadside in here. Haven't seen them in a while.
I remember nothing about what it's like to fight road sign.
I don't either, but I recognize the name, and I'm glad to see them back. Thanks.
Go flank.
Thanks. I grabbed him, and I got a missile to the back. Ah, he tried to grab me back. Road sign rocking that default mechanic looks like. Oh, man. Don't grab me. I don't want to be grabbed. Stop it. Take this bomb.
Well, you delivered it effectively to road sign. I don't think Maine got the order, though.
Maybe he'll hit this rush. I will whiff completely.
Oh.
No grabbing. The 2v2 grab exchanges can be very intense. You really gotta pay attention to your partner on this one. Take that 100 damage of smacking on the ground as you get yanked by the tether. Oh, when I whipped. Not whiffed. Flipped.
Flipped.
I was like, I'm looking
That's
for
the
a
word
word.
you
I
want.
don't know what the word is. I touched the edge of the homie with the toaster and it exploded, and that's why the Mechanica died. Sorry,
That is the
Roadside.
danger of those explosive arms. As soon as they get a charge, if the opponent gets a near miss on you, the arm that is charged will actually explode and deal damage to you. So there is
Luckily
a
for
little bit of a
Mechanica,
gamble.
she doesn't flinch, but still does the damage. Well, I feel like that setup worked pretty well, but Sky Arena is a very different place than Ribbon Ring.
Very different. Welcome to the rematch.
Putting Main in his place there. Ah, landed one.
Oh, you sure
Yeah,
did.
well, you punished me for it. Well, Main is at a fraction of a
Oh, I better get out of that
just gonna-
explosion. Oh, that's another one.
Okay.
When you just see a fully charged rushing homie diving in at your face.
Yeah, homies may be tricky to land normally, but their rush really packs a punch. They each blow up for a good 200 damage. They're like mini bombs. Oh, well, sorry, you got away there. That hammer didn't come out of nowhere, it came out of my fist. That's where I keep them.
Firing hammers straight out of her fists. Literary firearms.
I'm actually using firearms today. I usually don't actually equip them all that much.
That's true.
I like wind better, but I got some fire on today. But we've still got a little half an hour of our event left, so if anybody out there is fishing for some arms, you are welcome to join us.
Not sure if Road Sign knows about the stream, but they are in our Discord. I did see them in the chat momentarily. If you are in the stream, Road Sign, pleasure fighting alongside you. At least for this match. I look forward to a 2v2 when I can perhaps be on your team. I love me a good Mechanica or a Mummy as a teammate. Anytime I can be in a 2v2 with a teammate that's got some big, lumbering, heavy armor, I'm a happy camper.
Oh, dang it, I should have grabbed it. I'm so sorry, Roadside. I got greedy. I just happened to see a very clear grab opportunity. Okay, now is a better one, and I saved my team.
Look out for that bomb. Oh.
Stop it with the grabbing that bomb. I should really stop grabbing so much. Feels good though.
Rule number 7 of casual arms. Hands off my teammate.
Oh, looks like we've been rejoined by Wah. Wah is our current Scramble Sovereign, along with Superior Fan, which is the role that we give to our tournament winners, which our last one happened to be a tie, so we have 2 Scramble Sovereigns right now for our casual Scramble tournament winners.
We absolutely do. And if you go back and look at the scoreboards on that, they're a little unusual. We had a bit of an incident with Challenge that day, which was a little strange. It decided that in the final round of our tournament, the pairing that needed to happen was our current player in first place with an almost undefeated streak needed to face off against our current player in last place who had only achieved 1 KO so far that event, which was a mismatch we needed to correct.
Yeah, not an ideal circumstance for our Swiss-style tournaments, which try to match people up based on their win-loss records over the course of the tournament. And this is you and Goomba.
Well, Maine, I think I saw you taken off there. I'm glad you could stop by for some good times with us along the way. Hopefully we'll catch you again soon. I know we'll catch you again soon. I talk to you pretty much every day at this point.
Dragon.
Yeah, that's not one that I see very often.
Goomba does like the dragons a lot, just like Rashiko here. Very intense standoff. That's alright, mate.
Oh, that'll end. Well done,
Goomba.
Goomba. That's a
Getting
good
a bit on
rush.
tilt. Sneaking in some sneaky dragon beats. Battle between dragons is always interesting. Those beams take up most of the world. And that parasol really drills into that.
Yeah, it really does. It always looks so gruesome when it gets in there.
And Goomba says, good game, Rashiko.
Quite so, Goomba. I don't feel like we've gotten the chance to face off in too many 1v1s lately, so it's good to get the opportunity.
Main says he's not on tilt, he just can't play long unless he has people screaming in his ear in VC.
Main is one of those interesting players. As soon as he picks up the controllers, he's usually pretty close to peak play. But the longer he gets time to actually focus on the game and get inside his own head, the worse his play starts to get over time. If he's got people yelling at him, he can manage to stay distracted
Hey,
long enough to keep his play
That's
up.
what we do here at Casual Arms. We try to have fun. Man, she just leaped right into my arms. It felt like destiny.
Nixa just wanted to get in for a big ol' hug. Didn't care who was giving it.
Grabbing my teammates. Got my evil robot twin here, and
Evil robot twin or artificial sparring partner?
I feel like Springtron is pretty established to be part of the evil guys.
I mean, yeah, but you can be friends.
I mean, we're friends now. We're on a tether together. I mean,
The best way to get a real
romantic than
friendship.
that?
Tie each other together at the waist.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we express our friendship. Shall not rush my partner. Oh, sorry. As I punch Juan in the back.
You know, that's a fair point, Maine. Definitely the better of the two spring stages.
Oh, that's true. Springman and Springtron taking it on Spring Stadium. We're spring-a-linging here.
Looks like the whole lobby is about to get matched up again, so we get a full shuffle of who's getting up against who.
Main relates to our sentiment. He hates sparring so very much. It's so boring. Which, sparring, uniquely enough, was meant to just be the warm-up stage, and the development team decided later on in the process of setting up ARMS that they wanted to include like a mirror character in the form of Springtron, who is, like I said before, the evil robot version of Springman. And needing a stage to come with him, since every character has a home stage, they gave him the warm-up stage. Kind of marketed as the final destination of ARMS, so to speak.
And it is a stage that a portion of the community very much appreciates. It's something that is worth putting into the game for those people to enjoy.
Yeah, sparring is definitely a unique stage. It's very
Oh,
small, but it's
that's
also
something I didn't realize I could do, and I'm going to have to
yeah,
be more
that
aware
was
of in
really
the future.
impressive. You did a straight-up Lola jump over a homie. I thought for sure you were doomed.
No, I actually blocked the homie with it.
Oh, you did the shield bounce on it.
Yes, that one that you
Which
shouldn't
does
use
not
to try
do
and
for
stop a
grabs.
grab. Yeah. I should probably stop thinking and talking and start actually playing this match,
You
but it's a
were
little too late
investing-
for that.
You've learned something. The goal is always to learn something, even if you lose. So.
But that was an interesting little mechanic there.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that in mind if I ever decide to keep playing Lola after getting the badge.
Yeah, Main is right. Sparring rank is in fact being used no elevation changes.
The case could be made that Mausoleum does not have an elevation change.
Before the thing breaks, I guess. So, because Mausoleum has the trampoline, and once it does, then obviously there's elevation changes.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, most every other stage has at least some degree of small ramps or other shifts in height. Really highlighting how ARMS is a 3D fighter to the fullest.
Quite so, Goomba. It was a good match. I got a little distracted by learning some new mechanics, but it was a good match. Stopped paying attention about halfway through when I realized I was just going on a ramble.
Well, sometimes you do something interesting,
And it catches your attention.
and you're like, huh, I need to think about that, and then you realize that all of your hit points are gone.
Ooh, two grabs, and they both landed. Well done.
Oh jeez, the crossover rush there, that was pretty intense. Oh, and the ribbon managed the revenge grab. But she is alone now. Sorry, Ash. 2v1 pressure very well.
That'll do the job. Sorry to put you in a tough spot there at the end, Ash. I know if I am playing Mummy, Misango, or Lollipop, I tend to lean towards blocking in the 2v1 because it applies a unique situation there.
You're just like creeping up on people with Lola.
I mean, who doesn't?
It's hilarious. I mean, what could possibly be funnier or more intimidating than a puffed up clown slowly wiggling towards you?
Thank you, Ash.
We do make a good team.
We haven't actually gone so far as to practice 2v2 strats in specific, but we've played around 2v2s enough to where both of us kind of know how to read each other.
Yeah, back when we were still learning the game, we played hours and hours in the 2v2 Grand Prix. Let me tell you, the computer does some shenanigans. The real people will not do is perfectly dodge punches from behind them. The computer will know.
Yeah, the AI does not care if they should be able to see you. They just see you.
Yeah, the AI doesn't care about the camera angles of the players. Ash says, literary gets to your face when you attack me. Yep, that's true.
That is exactly the strategy.
Yeah, once you get 2v1, the tether lets you flank the remaining person. In the early days of ARMS, the tether was shorter. So that's a little more difficult to do.
Yes, we did, Maine.
We double band rushed that headlock. We like the hammers, okay?
I'm a big
is also
fan
a
of
hammer
them, yeah.
fan, as you can see. By that kablammer, he's rocking on low. Aw, Goomba says you guys make a nice couple. Thank you, Goomba.
I've certainly been enjoying the time together.
I like playing video games with you. I think you're neat.
Hammers on Lola are interesting because you can chuck out the hammer and it takes a day and a half to get to its target. But if you do it off of a Lola jump or a bounce or a dash, she's just in another zip code by the time it actually gets where it's going.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people use the hammers on Lola, because Kat used to use the whammer with a retorture on Lola, and obviously Nixa here is using the hammer. I thought I was building hammer, and I was throwing my toaster as though it was one. Not how you should throw a toaster. Get some ice on the This ice will cancel the dragon. Tip. Cool kid looking for tips.
Sorry about that.
Thanks. I don't have to get them over. Well, I got some damage on him, actually.
Sorry about
No,
that
that's
again.
fine. I snuck out from behind the pillar there.
Oh, that's a grab. And that's a finishing blow. All right.
Oh, dang. That was a dangerous move.
Whew.
We usually go for the rush, and then one of us will grab when the enemy inevitably blocks. But GM Tom was ready and threw a punch, which was unfortunate since that hammer swing managed to get him at the end there.
Yeah, but it was a very, very tight move that he pulled, and had it landed, that would have paid off big time. Well played, Tom and Nixa. I believe at least one of you was listening to us. Good game.
And it looks like people in our stream chat are using our Discord emotes. Or at least the text for them. Obviously, they don't show up in the Mixer chat. It really is interesting how the emotes of a server comes to define how people communicate on it.
Oh, thanks for keeping that headlock off me, Goomba. good to see a headlock with a broken arm when you go in for the rush.
Oh yeah.
That's when you know for sure he's not going anywhere.
It's good to rush when you see your teammate rush.
There are times to hold it so that you can chain the rushes longer, but
Yeah.
that's usually more
with the
useful
hammers.
against like a level 8 headlock when you need to keep them vulnerable as long as possible.
And Goomba gets the grab finish.
Yeah, sure
fancy.
does.
Always nice to have a good and populated Wildcard Wednesday, since we've got about 20 minutes left here. It should be another lobby or so.
It should be one more lobby after this one is what that would even out to. They tend to be about 20 minutes for a 20 coin lobby, 10 minutes for a 10 coin lobby.
Yeah, so if we don't manage to finish the 20 coin, we'll probably do a quick 10-minute, or a 10 coin one. What to use against a mechanical? Ooh, going double whammers. Whammers in the way. Ah, just one whammer after. That's a shame. Could've gone a hammer fight. Exciting. I struggle with those revolvers because they're out for so long.
Yeah, it's real easy to deflect one of them or two of them and
Or,
just think you've finished.
Jump into them.
Or just jump straight into them, yeah.
That's what I like to do. When I see them coming, I just dash right into them.
I do that all the time with just about every arm in the game.
What they say, rush and rusher. Had I hesitated, that might have done something.
Yeah.
Line it up right. These toasters are like three down.
Now you don't need that charge anymore. Welcome to comeback mode.
Come back, kid time.
Oh,
man.
that did not land though. Oh,
that was
down to the
close.
final hit. A good fight between Lit and Road Sign.
Road sign in Discord chat says OMG in all caps. Obviously, surprise. Alright, looks like we've got one more lobby in us after this, so this will be the tail end of our event here. And we got both of us in here. No, I just can't put this whammer down. I really like the whammers. They're so bright and colorful. Ah, we have a Tron.
Yes, we do. And that's a grab.
I tried to stop him. Doesn't happen. It's a very fast Tron.
It sure is. But that's what Tron does. Gets his charge and then goes very fast.
And
That's a grab.
Alright.
Well, that match
Usually
is...
quick.
Yep, I did not realize you were having trouble and was kind of playing a passive game at that point.
Didn't realize I was either, and then I was dead, so. But so it goes. It happens sometimes. And then we move on to the next fight.
Oh yeah, it's just how it goes. You can't win them all.
Yeah, Wah really knows his way around that popper. Yeah, his main words.
That's probably pretty fair, Main. Without charge, Springtron is average across the board with nothing really going for him, kind of like a bite and bark without bark.
And this is just you.
But once you get Min Min without charge, Min Min still has some tools available to her.
I'm just staring, watching this, positively hypnotized. This game could be really fun to watch sometimes.
It's so colorful.
There's tons of colors. Spring Stadium is this bright yellow, and it's just so nice. I'm surprised you didn't go for the wind bounce there.
Nah, I didn't need to do JP like that.
More callous player than you would have gone. Just the advantage. Yeah, Main is citing Min Min's adorable kick and dash as one of the tools that she
Thank
does
you
have.
for the follow, Daffodil. That looks like it might be a default name here on Mixer, so if you are one of our friends from Discord, it is good to see you plugging in on this half of what we have to offer. If you are a new friend who just stumbled across us here on Mixer, glad you found us. Hopefully we can keep giving you some good stuff in the future. You can catch our streams at this time every week. We are just about at the end of our 2-hour stream, and it happens every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern.
Next, I go in brass. Big one already. But
Nix is about to just flex at you for the entire fight.
I mean, that's what brass does. Kind of his MO. I never personally figured out how to make roasters work, but I know a lot of people really like them. Very powerful arm. I believe they do the most damage in the game.
Kablammer would be most damage
Oh,
in
because
the
the
game.
explosion.
Yep,
yeah.
the
But like
extra
per
damage.
singular hit.
Yes, I believe that's true. I could be wrong, but I think you're right on that one.
Hey, I didn't deflect intentionally.
The best way to do it.
Let's take it. Ah! I'm not expecting the grab.
I could understand why you wouldn't be.
God, I was trying to get his little feetsies with my toaster.
It looked like you had it, too. Not quite there, but had it landed, that would have been good. Hey, looks like Landfrog is going to make it in for the last 10 minutes. Very cool.
Oh, it sounds like definitely is Garrett. So once he gets his name figured out, we've got more friends.
Ah, good to know.
Nixtron acknowledges it was weird. That's alright. We have Landfrog of the Wide Grabs here today with us.
Landfrog of the Wide Grabs. He comes from the Wide Grab clan.
Hey, that's that motion tech right there.
That is. You can do wide grabs with the traditional stick controls.
You can,
it is
but
just really hard to do.
Since on stick controls you need to input the direction of your arm as you throw the punch.
And yes, Goomba, you can definitely ask a question. You might notice both of us in this match, so it may be a slight delay while we're playing before we answer it, but you are more than welcome to ask a question.
It is the headlock though, so not answer chat. I imagine Goomba is also getting in a match here too, so. Dunk it in the corner.
That's exactly where headlock belongs, over
Stay
there in a
sir.
corner. Excuse you, trying to walk out of that corner. sir, sit down.
Goomba asks, on the monthly leaderboards on the website, I was wondering if the number up means on the website. Oh,
Yes.
that mentions the placement that you've changed on the monthly leaderboards. So, like, if you get a bunch of coins and then you'll move up in the ranking there, the number next to the arrow is how many places you jumped up. Another wonderful feature, courtesy of program.
Or for those of you who have been here in stream and noticed, item bot.
Yep. Pry this whammer out of my cold, dead hands. Unfortunately.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to
with
that.
the Chilla is very capable of producing that exact scenario.
I believe I saw a question for some tips on mummy play,
Yep, that is.
which I believe was from Mr. Circuit right here, which is aired in the Discord, yep. Basic tips for mummy are going to come down to how you want to play your mummy. I play a very unusual mummy in that mine involves actually using blocks and playing in a very, very defensive style. Which is not what most people do. Most people will abuse Mummy's armor in order to get... Well, that's... Give me a second here. I'm going to go ahead and lose this match and then finish it
Yeah, that thing I
answering
mentioned
your
about my
question.
cold, dead hands. Yeah, GM can't make that happen.
Yep.
Pretty quick.
Well, I'm not going to be able to get through this, but
That's alright.
that's fine.
That means you can get quicker to giving
There we
our
go.
friends some advice about mummies.
Anyways, most people like to take advantage of Mummy's armor and just kind of dive in, be aggressive, and throw out a bunch of hits because his arms are so large that you can keep it up and not miss and intercept their attacks along the way. Especially if you're using something like a clapback, you can just kind of get right up in their face and throw that out there, and it's very difficult for people to get around it. I am much more focused on a defensive play, so I will hold block with Mummy a lot, which is a risky thing to do with Mummy because once you enter a block with Mummy, it seems like it's the strongest thing he can do because he heals while he's blocking, but you are at the mercy of your opponent. So as soon as your opponent sees you blocking, they can go in for a setup to get a grab on you. They can bluff you into thinking they're going to grab and then landing a punch on you. Or they can just whittle away at your shield while building rush until they get their rush. And it's a very tricky spot to be as a mummy because you are forced to rely on your reaction time. You have to kind of sit there and wait for them to throw the grab and interrupt with them getting to get the perfect setup. Oh, that did not quite land how I wanted it to, but it's fine. All is well. I can gladly work through some more detailed talk with Mummy. I used to play Mummy for a good fair while. But again, there are two very distinct playstyles with Mummy. You can make a very, very aggressive armor Mummy or a very, very defensive turtle Mummy. And the advice is going to be very different between the two.
Yeah, one of the players we used to have a lot more frequently at our events, Cosmos, used to run a very aggressive mummy with double roaster.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very good at knowing exactly how long to be patient. Which it was only a couple seconds sometimes. Like you start your rush and your opponent responds and then he would unleash his rush. It was really impressive.
If you are leaning towards a more defensive turtle-style mummy, one of the things that I would recommend that helped me a lot was looking at something that's very, very quick, like a Hydra is where I would recommend you start, or a Biffler if you're fond of the Biffler. Those arms are some of the fastest in the game, and the Hydra has a good knockdown ability on it and can catch vertical targets very well in case someone decides to get up in your face, jump to go airborne, and then try and grab you from a weird angle. If you're going to be holding block, having something very fast to throw out of that block to catch the opponent when they're open is super useful. And yes, Goomba, I basically don't really get on Discord at all until very, very late on Sundays. I am occupied elsewhere throughout the day.
I keep getting hypnotized by watching this.
It's all good.
We just got such a good flow going down.
And yes, that's why I don't make it to the Sunday event. But Lit is present and accounted for pretty much every Sunday event and makes it work really well.
Yep, it used to be the Champions of the Era warm-up lobby, and then we decided to expand it into a full leaderboard slot. But Champions of the Era is still happening, so if
It
any
definitely
of you more
still
competitive
is.
folks are out there, there are plenty of weekly tournaments around, and Champions of the Era is one of them, on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
And in a way, it still functions a bit as the Champions of the Era warm-up lobby.
Yeah,
it
it's
just
still in the
continues
slot
as a
that you
leaderboard
could, we
event.
just don't run only 1v1s during it anymore.
And it also allows for people who are joining Champions of the Era to... yeah, I should have stuck around for the defense. But if you do play in Champions of the Era and you happen to get eliminated, you can always join in on the event after.
No, because it still stops at the same time. But there's usually people still hanging out. So. You get a big voice chat crowd on Sundays.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is my timing wrong on that?
Yeah, yeah.
It
still
ends
stops.
before Champions of the Era
stops
starts?
15 minutes before.
Gotcha. Okay.
We added an hour at the beginning of it.
Apologies, that was me being misinformed. I am not usually present for that Sunday slot.
Yeah, that's all me. Ah! Okay, I was like, I kind of needed a hand there. Hey, B-Movie, thanks for the gift. That is horrifying, but also...
Oh my goodness, what is that?
It's a clown, because you're playing Lollipop.
Oh, I suppose I am playing Lollipop. I think she's a little bit more polished of a clown than that,
Yeah,
but
she's
my
cuter.
goodness. And yes, that was a very close match, Ash.
Yeah, thanks for the Sparks B-Movie. Nice of you to pop in.
I was holding that rush for the absolute last second there, hoping for the moment where it would not be avoidable.
Yeah, Ash says you guys are good at
find it.
canceling grabs. We definitely have played a lot of our 2v2 and are very aware of the other one. We may not always express when we get grabbed, but the audio cue for that grab is really handy.
Oh, goodbye, Wah. It looks like you have to bail on the event here. If you do take off, we have notice of your 17 coins, so we'll do our best to remember that.
And Goomba asked, do you think I did a good job today? Yeah, you've been really helpful today, Goomba. We really appreciate it. Both your activity in our stream chat and your assistance with hosting today is really, really helpful. These streams can get a little lonely when we have nobody to talk to.
Very true. Some streamers will run off of basically being a Let's Play entertainer. That's not really our gig here. We are community events through and through, even to our stream. And what we really love is to see you all here in chat and be able to give you some feedback. Whether you are playing or watching.
Mr. Circuit says, what, you two don't talk to each other? I mean, like, we do, but...
Not during the match,
Yeah.
oddly enough. All we tend to say during a match is, oh, that was a grab, or, oh, that's gonna hurt.
And occasionally, help. Yeah, people, because we're on the same console, they assumed that we were communicating much more than we really were.
Get out
They
of
were
here.
like, oh, it's not fair. Because Rash and Lit have their secret... Oh, that's cool. Their secret strats they communicate with. Meanwhile, we're sitting here like, help, I got grabbed.
Yeah,
Or
pretty much.
occasionally, I'm almost dead, by the way. Alright, Goomba says, thank you guys, I cannot wait for more of these. We can't either. These have been really fun.
Oh yeah, it's a good time, and we're really glad to be able to offer some streaming services for these. It's been a great change of pace.
Goomba says, I cannot wait for Sunday too. I look forward to it as well.
Well, take care, Goomba.
And that, I believe, is our event for today.
It certainly is. That is the end of our event. Anyone who is here is welcome to keep playing. We will boot up the lobby with a more traditional set for you here if you want to stick around.
Looks like no one is.
I don't think anyone is. It looked like
we'll
everyone
anyway.
left, but I'll
It's
prep
fine.
it up just in case.
Well, people are staying.
For those who are
Take
sticking
that off and
around,
leave.
you are welcome to enjoy the new settings.
Alright, well,
But we are
thanks
going to
everybody
roll
for
out.
playing today. Much appreciate you. Thanks for watching in the stream. Thank you for the gift, by the way, B-Movie. You sent another one. And
Oh, yeah!
looks like Rashiko has finally achieved that Lollipop badge.
We
so
made it to the Lollipop badge. I now have the full collection of character play badges.
Hey, ta-da.
For anyone who wants to see what that looks like, that's what that looks like.
Hey, these
That
are like
is the 50 rounds of the character, the 500 rounds of the character, the 100 KOs against the character, and the 250 wins against that character.
Yeah, they're like the little achievements of ARMS. And you can assign one of these badges to show up next to your name when you fight. And it shows up in a lobby.
Yep.
So that's always fun. I haven't changed mine in like a year. Because we have that Party Crush one that I just never take off. Thank you for the sparks, Ash. Much appreciated.
This is our full badge collection on the primary console. And you can see we still have a few that we have not locked in, but we've got a good chunk of them out here. Anyways, that is the end of our event, and that means that is the end of our stream.
So thanks for tuning in, and you guys all have a good night.
Take care, friends. We'll see you again. Goodbye.